In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Digitech RP70, which is labeled as a modeling guitar processor, but in other words, it's basically an effects box for guitar. And it goes without saying, it has a ton of tones and effects. It also has a built-in drum machine, which is very nice, and it comes with a power supply. On the front of the unit, there are up and down foot switches, so you can toggle between effects that way. And there are basically three modes in the RP70. There's edit mode, where you can edit the effects. There's bypass mode, if you just want to have a dry signal coming out of the unit. And there's tuner mode, which you can use the machine as a guitar tuner, which comes in very, very handy. To tell you a little bit, I bought mine about 10 years ago, and I paid under $100 for it brand new. I'm not sure what they're selling for now on the second-hand market, but I'm sure they're probably quite affordable. And I will say that it was designed for guitars. I'm much more of a keyboardist than I am a guitarist, but it can just as easily be used with keyboards, and it can produce some very, very interesting effects for keyboards. Now, something that you have to be mindful of when you're using this unit, you can make all kinds of changes and you can edit all the effects to your heart's content, but if you make changes to effects, you have to store the changes or they'll be lost. As soon as you turn the unit off, if you haven't saved the changes you made, they're going to be gone forever. So keep that in mind every time you do any sort of editing to the effects. They have to be saved. There's basically a tone library button, and that's where you find the variety of genre-based amp tone defaults, and you can edit all the different presets. There's an effects library button, and this is basically all the post-amplifier effects like chorus, delay, reverb, etc. There's an effects level button, which controls the relative level of post-amp effects. And there's also a master level button, which controls the overall output level. In total, there are 50 user presets and 50 factory presets. So for the price you pay for this machine, it's definitely worth the money. There's also a section that is called the Matrix, and I know it kind of reminds me of the Keanu Reeves movie, but basically Digitech refers to this section as the Matrix. It's kind of neat looking. It's kind of a crescent shape feature on the front panel of the unit. And basically it's just a visual representation of which effects are in use. Now, on the back of the RP70, you basically have an input, a standard 1/4 inch input. There's an amp mixer selection button. So if you're outputting to a guitar amplifier, you would select amp. It would basically give it the most ideal setting to interface with an amplifier. Or if you're running it into a mixer, you would select the mixer mode, and it would idealize the output for mixer. There's a left and right out. There's a control in, which basically is used, I've never used it myself, but basically you can input a passive volume pedal to control the volume, wah, whammy, etc. There's a headphone jack, and there's also a 9-volt DC. Basically, this unit, it's very nice. It offers all kinds of amp and cabinet models. And all of these amp and cabinet models are based on very famous and very well-known amplifiers from the past, such as Fender, Marshall, Vox, and a whole wide range of other amplifiers. All of the classic effects are in here. Flanger, phaser, tremolo, panner, reverb, they're all here. And again, as I mentioned, it's fully editable. So you can go in and tweak all the effects until you get them just right. And as I mentioned before, there's a drum machine. Now, it's not programmable, but still, it's a nice feature to have. Maybe if you're just kind of jamming on your own, trying to come up with, trying to compose a tune. And if you need a good steady beat, it's already built in. So it's nice and convenient and a very useful feature of the RP70. And there are 40 patterns in total for the drum machine. This thing is extremely lightweight and portable. It weighs under 1 pound. You could very easily stick it into a backpack or any sort of bag, and you could take it with you wherever you wanted to go, to a jam session, to a studio. It goes along very, very easily. And I'll also mention that this machine can produce 9 simultaneous effects. So all in all, a great machine. Really useful for guitarists. I'm sure there are many guitarists out there who have already discovered this machine and use it all the time. I use it quite frequently. Again, I'm more of a keyboardist, but a lot of these effects when added to keyboards sound just as cool and just as useful. So in a moment, I'm going to be giving a demonstration of a few of the effects in this machine. I can't demonstrate every effect because it would basically make for a 3-hour video. So I'm just going to pick and choose a few of the more interesting effects to demonstrate for you. So here is a demonstration of the Digitech RP70.